The traditional Monday to Friday grind can be an exhausting and mundane cycle of wakefulness to alarms, endless toil and a long commute, followed by hours spent at work taking orders from supervisors. Such a hectic routine leaves little energy or time for much else, only enough strength to eat dinner before collapsing into bed after binge-watching TV shows. Unfortunately, many of us are stuck in this cycle of living for 40 years and more. We make money, pay our bills, then do it all over again. This tiresome way of life only makes the companies we work for wealthier while we struggle to make do. And we can all agree no one wants to keep living this way. So how can we escape this pattern? You may find the answer here. Hello everyone, and today we'll be talking about how to get away from the dull cycle of the rat race. If you are new here, welcome to UpThink, where we bring out ideas to help you in your everyday life. Be sure to click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to check out more videos from us. How many people do you know of that are satisfied with their job? Likely only a few. While many put up with their jobs, it would be rare to see someone truly love going to work every day. And we have the surveys to prove it. Gallup's recent findings confirms that half of today's workforce is only somewhat satisfied with their 9-to-5 lifestyle, leaving many people stuck in a frustrating cycle. Day after day, they toil away, secretly dreaming of an escape from mundane daily routines, hoping and wishing they would soon see true liberation. But escaping the rat race is not an easy achievement. As we have mentioned earlier, many are still stuck in the tedious pattern, so you can see it is difficult to get away. Most people you may have heard of that escape this rat race are probably twice your age. And like 50% of the working society, you probably do not intend to stay permanently at your current job either. If so, then achieving financial freedom should be all of your ultimate goals in life. Instead of just playing an employee's role, why not strive for something more? Why not aim to become financially independent? Building up assets that are secure enough to cover your daily living expenses with no need for regular paychecks. Imagine a life of peaceful mornings with no need to rush, just the blissful tranquility that comes from waking naturally when your body is rested. Exchange traffic jams for coffee and morning shows, workouts instead of office cubicles, feeling relaxed as you embrace quality time with family without worrying about work obligations. Sounds impressive, no? We all desire an escape from the rat race, but achieving it is more challenging than we would like. Nonetheless, if you know exactly what hurdles stand in your way and how best to tackle them, then gaining freedom is much more attainable than you may have thought. Here we offer insight into these barriers so that achieving a life of leisure can be yours sooner rather than later. So you graduate and begin working after getting into a company. You would think, oh, so this is where the rat race begins. But no, it actually starts much earlier than that. Even though we want to be knowledgeable in financial literacy, most of us have yet to be taught the secrets to successful wealth building. Budgeting our resources for maximum returns, saving money with intelligent strategies in mind, and generating more income through investing. Knowing how these practices work together can lead to natural riches. If you cannot manage your finances well, it will be a long way until you can have economic freedom. So what do we do when we are unsure how to take the next step? We ask for advice. But the thing about advice is that mediocre advice can result in mediocre outcomes. Most advice will likely guide you to that same dull path and years of being bound by an employer. You'll probably hear about getting a college degree that should open up an opportunity to earn an income for a financially stable life. Although pursuing a degree can be an investment in one's future, it also comes with financial obligations. After putting forth years of hard work, most college graduates leave school with more than some knowledge and a diploma. An average student debt balance that can take 2 decades to pay off. On average, this daunting financial burden comes at around $29,000. So you are leaving college with debt, but you may think, on the bright side, I can have a job to cover it. Sadly, it is not exactly that simple. For recent college graduates, the job market can be a brutal place. One good thing is that most will land at least one position after graduation. However, attaining true financial freedom may be more elusive than anticipated. Reports show that entry-level salaries are around $55,000. Sounds great in theory. Yet when you consider rising costs of living and looming debt payments, this amount suddenly becomes far less compelling. With an income of $5,000 a month, many people can expect to take home just shy of $3,500 post-tax. Yet when bills and expenses are taken into account, such as rent payments, travel costs, food shipping trips, and nights out, allocating even several $100s towards paying off lingering student loan debt is something of a luxury. It is no surprise then that the average person requires 2 full decades in order to clear their educational debts entirely. But hey, there is such a thing as a pay raise, right? Now, it may be tempting to believe that a raise from your employer could provide the financial relief you've been dreaming of, but unfortunately, rises in income tend to come with fewer perks than we initially hoped for. Let us use 4.8% as the average annual raise, for example. And you can imagine that from $55,000 per year, your salary would only rise to below $58,000. Sure, every dollar counts, but in the big picture, you would not be breaking free from the rat race just yet. Unfortunately, only a few people are aware of the facts that we raised just now, so most of our 9-to-5 job workers need to realize how far they are from reaching their financial freedom with their current jobs. Working for an employer can bring security and support, but it may only sometimes lead to financial freedom. Employers strive to achieve maximum profits while employees look toward a stable future. Two very different paths that often require compromise from both parties. To summarize, without the right financial advice, you could start off with the common path, which leaves you with an almost $29,000 debt. Then you land a job that gets you very little raises from employers. So we can see here that the typical path is not always the answer if you're aiming for that economic independence. So far, we have only talked about the negative things, and honestly, it does not end there. Let us point out one more thing. Consumption. We have a limited amount of time between each workday that could be used constructively to build our finances, but instead, many of us choose to consume media and other activities. Unfortunately, these bad habits can accumulate into incidents with serious financial repercussions, leaving us worse off than before. Through social media, we see our friends and family traveling, some even getting married and starting a family. But looking at these images just drives us to do the same. And what does it require to do these things? Cash, or in other words, our income. With countless temptations vying for our hard-earned income, it can be challenging to resist the splurge and dedicate that money to creating financial security. Difficult though it may seem when friends are living lavishly while we look ahead towards freedom from the constraints of cubicle life, making these responsible yet challenging decisions will pave the road to true liberation in the future. Then, simple enough, all we have to do is avoid these temptations, and we are one step further on our road to our goal of greater prosperity. But there are a few more obstacles in the way, obstacles that are unfortunately out of your hands. Let us pinpoint the greatest one: inflation. Inflation can be an insidious force, making it difficult to achieve financial independence. There are external impediments beyond our control that may hinder us from realizing fiscal liberation. However, by being mindful of this phenomenon and its implications, we gain the ability to overcome adversity when striving for success. The cost of living can quickly become a reality check when inflation increases. Any financial gains from raises or promotions are often cancelled out by the rising prices for everyday goods and services. Hence, as we journey down the road of financial freedom, it can often seem like an obstacle race. Whether it is our own resistance to saving money or larger economic forces at play, there are numerous adversaries trying to hinder us from achieving success. After a few years of drudging through the daily grind, many people come to realize that their 9-to-5 job is not going to get them where they want in life. This has led an incredible 93% of Americans nowadays to have some form of a side hustle, whether it be for meeting monthly expenses or finally making headway with those savings goals. While taking the initiative to get a side hustle is not a bad move, if you want to leave the rat race, it is not going to be easy on this path either. As life progresses, increasing responsibilities make it increasingly difficult to find time for a side job or overtime. Whether you're raising a family or managing the needs of loved ones, having limited hours in the day means that earning extra can be tricky. Your growing obligations can be what ties you down to stay in that 9-to-5 job anyway, no matter if you want to change your life. In most cases, this is the reason why many people continue working tirelessly. So far, it may seem hopeless to escape the rat race, but it is possible. Remember this, there are many factors we can play here aside from acquiring money. Are you enjoying the video so far? If you are, please leave us a like, as it encourages us to make more content about financial advice for our learning community. It would mean an awful lot to us. Now back to our topic. Your first priority should be devising a plan to escape the 9-to-5 job. Your plan should involve 3 things: how much money you require for savings and investment, your measures for acquiring said money, and when your escape will be. The key to an escape or retirement is all about striking the right balance between what you need to live and how much income it takes. This can be achieved by being more mindful of how you budget, such as scaling down the size of your home and using alternate modes of transport instead of opting for expensive motor vehicles. When it comes down to it, understanding what funds are necessary for lifestyle needs will help you get closer to achieving long-term goals. Since these expenses are mostly what makes a hefty dent in your wallet, you can achieve maximum value by cutting these down. Knowing how much you practically need in order to meet daily needs allows you to set an achievable goal of determining what amount will help you get ahead financially. When the time comes to retire, worrying about money should be one of your least concerns. To ensure a secure financial future beyond the workplace, having 30 times your yearly expenses saved up is a good strategy. For instance, if you require $40,000 each year for living costs, then securing at least $1.2 million will give you peace of mind, knowing that retirement can remain stress-free. When planning your savings goals, it is essential to factor in a timeline. Having more time available means you would not have to make steep contributions each month. But if job satisfaction is low, then powering through and meeting this goal sooner may be the most rewarding option. Now picture this. You have yet to save any money so far, but you have decided on a timeline of 15 years to escape. Suppose the average rate of return is 7% on investment. You would need to set aside $4,000 per month. So here is the final step for escaping the rat race. As we've mentioned earlier, there are many factors aside from just money that comes from your 9-to-5 job to get away. If you want to make the most of your life after retirement, allocating some cash towards acquiring assets that generate passive income is an excellent way forward. Go beyond simply cutting back on expenses. Take advantage of every extra hour you have to invest in assets that will generate a passive income stream when life becomes more demanding down the road. What do we mean by passive income? For example, creating additional income streams of $4,000 or more is a great way to break the rat race cycle and secure your financial future. From blogging to rental properties, digital products, and beyond, there are countless innovative methods now available for generating passive revenue. Do not let yourself fall into the trap of believing that more hours are necessary for success. Instead, take charge of your future now by finding passive income prospects so you do not spend life running around like a rat forever. Are you ready to break free from the oppressive 9-to-5 grind? Then heed these tips and remember the obstacles we mentioned earlier. Refrain from careless spending, crimp your plans. Invest whatever extra cash available into a freedom fund, and before long that cubicle will not be tying you down anymore. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have learned a thing or two, please let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear it. If you have not subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button if you would like to be part of our wonderful learning community. We hope to see you again in the next video. Bye!